Hi, I'm Chris McClure, and this is my EDL 853 case study, When a Student's Rights Are Wronged. First, let me establish some facts. I currently serve as the principal of Nottingham High School. The school was built in the 1950s and operates as the only high school in Dover, with an enrollment of around 3,200 students. As enrollment has increased, many of the buildings have been updated to meet state or federal standards, but approximately a fourth of the buildings have not been brought up to code, and some classes have to be held in relocatable trailers. The Hernandez family moved to Dover to take advantage of the academic and football success of Nottingham High School. Their oldest son, Miguel, is a sophomore and earned the starting quarterback position on the football team. Late in a playoff game, Miguel was injured and transported to the hospital, where doctors determined that he was paralyzed from the waist down. When Miguel was medically cleared to return to school, Ms. Gussman, the counselor, informed him that he would not be able to take biology because the classroom was not wheelchair accessible, which was the only accommodation that his mother had requested. The alternative science course that Ms. Gussman wanted to transfer him to is also not a college preparatory course. The Hernandez family requested a meeting with me and wanted to know why Miguel was not being allowed to take biology. Mr. Hernandez brought along with him an attorney who had numerous questions about Miguel and his right to receive the education he and his family desired. As I looked at this case, I explored the legal and ethical issues. Unless there were mitigating circumstances not mentioned in the case study, Miguel and his family assumed the risk of him playing football. However, the school district is responsible to make sure Miguel and any other student has access to their buildings and programs. The question becomes, is Nottingham School District infringing upon Miguel Hernandez's right to obtain access to an appropriate education, and what steps should have been taken prior to Miguel's return to school? Next, I'll determine if there are any missing or unknown facts. I'll start with people. After the meeting with the parents, I will inform Dr. Harvey, the superintendent, of the situation, and I assume that he will then inform the school board. As Dover is a town that is supportive of the school and of the football team, this case could have wide-ranging implications within the community. For place, I need to look into the feasibility of making the biology classroom wheelchair accessible. Can it be done? What will it cost? Are funds available? And then also, are there any other classrooms that are inaccessible that need to be looked into? For programs, I need to look ahead and determine if other classrooms will need to be modified for access. I should also ascertain if there are any other students whose needs are not being met. In addition to Miguel and the Hernandez family, the climate of the school, the district, and the community could also be damaged by this situation. I will be certain to keep Dr. Harvey informed and the Board of Education informed. After the meeting with the Hernandez family and their lawyer, I will meet with Ms. Gussman to uncover why she chose to make the change and what she told Miguel. I will then initiate the process of determining how to make all classrooms accessible. So the four options that I have come up with are, first of all, to make no changes, to have Miguel take the alternative course and not take biology. The second option is to make the biology classroom wheelchair accessible. The third option is to move biology to a different classroom within the building that is accessible. And the fourth one is to make biology available virtually. So the only pro that I could come up with for the first one was that Miguel would get a science credit that meets his graduation requirement. The cons are that the alternative course is not what Miguel and his parents would like to do, and it might not allow Miguel to attend the post-secondary school of his choice. The district would probably be facing legal action, and most importantly, it is not what is in the best interest of Miguel, the district, the school culture, and the community. The second option, to make biology wheelchair accessible, Miguel gets to take the class of his choosing, and enabling him to do so will meet state and federal disability accommodation requirements. The cons are that the district will have to find funds to pay for the modifications, and any construction will take time, preventing Miguel from attending biology immediately. With option 3, moving biology to a different room that is accessible currently, the pros are similar to the second option, that Miguel will get to take the class of his choosing, and it will meet state and federal disability requirements. Another advantage is that Miguel can begin taking biology immediately. The cons that we'll have to consider are, can all necessary materials for biology be transported to another classroom, and can the labs be administered safely in this new environment? Additionally, another class would need to be moved out of that classroom that biology would be moving into, which would probably cause it not to meet accessibility requirements. And then the fourth option is to him making biology virtually available. The cons would be that the pros would be that Miguel could take biology immediately without needing the school to be modified. The cons are that a virtual course could limit Miguel's collaboration with classmates and diminish his learning experience and social interaction. Lastly, is it even possible to find a suitable virtual course that can be accessed? When choosing the best plan, I decided to go with option 3. The best option would be moving biology to a wheelchair-accessible classroom that would allow Miguel to immediately attend biology. Hopefully there is another classroom that can be used or modified quickly for the biology curriculum. To implement the plan, I would promptly meet with any faculty involved in moving classrooms and inform them of my reasoning. I would inform the custodial staff of the room change and find out how long they thought it would take to accomplish the process. I'd meet with the entire faculty and Dr. Harvey to keep them informed. And lastly, I would be sure to keep the Hernandezes updated. While faculty may rebel against the move, I hope they understand the need for us to be compliant. I would be sure to keep the superintendent involved and rely on his counsel. I would continue to meet informally with faculty and the counselor. I would direct the counselor and special education staff to assess how we are meeting the needs of each of our students with disabilities. I would also meet regularly with the head custodian to make sure the transition was going smoothly. I would set up a formal meeting with the Hernandez family and make sure they knew we were doing our best to meet their expectations and devise a plan going forward. If it were not possible to outfit an accessible room for the biology curriculum, I would make plans for Miguel to take biology virtually, while also offering the class to other students. I would work with the biology faculty to develop a plan for any hands-on labs that they thought were important to virtual student learning. Once the dust settles, I'll meet with Ms. Guzman to discuss where we need to work better in order to avoid similar situations in the future. As soon as we were made aware of Miguel's decision, his desire to return to Nottingham High School, and his necessary modifications, the team, including his parents, should have been organized in preparation for that. We should have discussed a potential IEP with his parents and made decisions about his education prior to his return to school. Because of his physical disability, Miguel does qualify for services under IDEA, ADA, and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. Lastly, I would be sure to schedule effective in-service trainings that would help my staff understand the importance of creating the least restrictive learning environment for each student to ensure their success and well-being. Thank you.